Okay, we need to actually set this up a little bit different. First off, welcome everyone. I hope that you can hear me. I think I have everything set up correctly. What we are working on today, and actually in this series of videos, I'm going to be making a kind of like a tech support form in Google Forms, as you can see here. That's then going to be linked with VB.net, so you can create your very own application if you'd like to follow along with us. And the goal for this is to help automate some of the tasks that my school currently does. I am part of STLP, Student Learning Technology Program, and part of that is I am helping the kids further their education in technology. One of the things that the kids do under the guidance of the technology teacher is repair Chromebooks. And they have typical things that they go through with different things that go wrong with Chromebooks. And they wanted to come up with a way to automate all of this so that it's easy enough for it to show up. And they wanted a system where it would ding or something like that and would show up and say, hey, you have a new computer you need to work on. This is what's wrong with it. And then they could very easily just say, it's done, submit, and turn in. So that's what I'm currently working on. Actually, right now I need to update the thumbnail. So let me see if we can get here to... There it is. Okay, let's update this thumbnail. Go ahead and make this new playlist. Yes, first time I've streamed on this channel in a very long time, so I need to get this set up. Done, save. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So I currently have this system set up here where, if you didn't know, inside of Google Forms, you can actually have different things set up. Let's turn down this music a little bit. You can have different things set up to where you can have different sections. So if we were to preview this, let's go ahead and copy this link here. We were to open this up. You can see that it first asks, what's the issue? Is it with a Chromebook or with an account? And you can just say Chromebook next, and then it'll step you through the process of what's wrong with the Chromebook. And you can have different tiers set up different ways inside of Google Forms, and that's pretty easy to do. What you do is you go over here to add a section, and depending on what section you select, it'll go to another section. So it's pretty easy to do. Right now I'm editing. Looks like they gave me some more stuff to add on there. So with the Chromebook, what's wrong with the Chromebook? Freezes, crashes, will not turn on. Will not charge. Screen broken. Okay, got that. Broken keyboard. They needed to add on speakers not working. And headphones not working. Volume. Volume will not change. Okay. Then we go down here. It looks like it goes Chromebook from Classroom. So Chromebook from Classroom. Okay. No storage. No hard drive. If I can type. No hard drive showing up. Storage lost. And then last one they said was overheating. However, I don't understand how the user would know that, but okay. Okay, let's see here. The internet won't connect. Let's say will not connect. Will not hold charge. Okay. Will not hold charge. All right, so for my people coming in, we are making a form that will help us create kind of like a point of sale, not point of sales, a UI for people working on Chromebooks. So if a student has a Chromebook that's messed up, they will fill out this form and it will automatically go to a VB.NET application that will allow for the students to know what's going on and a way to communicate back and forth with the student with the issue versus students that's working on the Chromebook. Now, once you have all of this done and saved, let's check to make sure. Describe what's going on. Screen is up. Okay, broken screen. Got that. Screen rotate. Done. Okay, select account. Got password. Reset password. Verify. Okay. Okay. So now that we have this saved, let's go ahead and we're going to need to get the URL for the form, which we have right here. And let's go ahead and generate this in the Sheets. We're going to change this over to my actual account. And this should have updated what I changed over here. We'll see. We might have to submit one more before we do that. So let's go ahead and submit it. Okay, we have a Chromebook. It will not hold a charge. Classroom number and a Chromebook number. Sure. Next. Please submit and finish your inquiry. Deliver to the IT room. I agree. Please submit and submit. Okay, so now if we jump over here, we should have an updated form. With will not hold a charge. Okay. Now let's go ahead and we want to make a new form. Can we just stretch this out? No, we can't. This is not Excel. Wish this was Excel, but it is not. Okay, and let's see. We're going to have this column be completed. Then completion date. And the last one, let's just have this be notes in case there's anything extra that we want to say about it. So we will want to add this in because otherwise our program's not going to know when something was completed. Okay, so we have that. So let's go ahead and start looking at the VB.NET in the code. So I actually have two forms brought up. I have one that you can see here with the blank screen, and the other one I'm going to be pulling from on the other side. I just have this made up. It's a very simple form. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in some code. So let's double click on here to generate us a form load. There's going to be a couple things that we need. Let's go ahead and place these in here. And we're going to need the CSV nugget. So let's go up to projects and get nuggets. I've actually never used the CSV nugget before. I've always just made my own containers for it, but we'll see how this goes. Might be easier, might not, who knows. Okay, looks like that installed fine. So if we jump back over here, now the CSV works. Okay, we are now going to copy this. What this is just a introduction, so we know, like, whenever we save to, let's say, temporary files or registry files, we want to have a shortened program name. It makes it a lot easier for us in the future if we were to ever go back and modify this again. So that's what the shortened modified name is. We are going to change this to Google Form Service Logger. That's fine. Do a subroutine where we change the name. So me dot program name and dash, and then whatever else we want to add to it. So beta, maybe. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, and we want to run this, so whenever we run the program, it's going to change the program's name to that, or it's going to change the text of it. So let's go ahead and see if that works. And there we have it. Google Form Service Logger. Yeah. All right. We have the basics of that done. Let's go ahead and see what we got over here with this one. Need to like this stream here. Yeah, we got that. That's fine. Okay, next. We do not need to show this. I'm going to copy this and comment all of that out because we don't really need it right now. Not an email, and Yeah, okay. So we don't need to copy that. We are going to have this be here. Now, what I have pasted in here, obviously that's not a correct email or a correct password or anything like that. So we're safe with that. Okay, and let's see here. Should we covered? We also need a completion zone. So this is going to tell us what column that the completion zone is at, which we have right here. The completion zone is going to be at R. Completed, completed date, and notes is T. So RST. D is completed. Let's go ahead and S and T. Okay, now we are going to be needing to access the script. Let me go ahead, get this copied over. Okay, now the Google Sheet script URL, and then we need the Google Sheet URL. So the script URL is going to be Google Scripts, yes. Okay. So inside of, let me go ahead and bring this up here so I know exactly where I have this. Nope. App scripts, is that it? Okay, that's fine. I feel like that's it, isn't it? Pretty sure that's it. Okay, let me see here. My screen is messing up on me big time. Do a quick Google search here. See what I got going on. Quick Google search. Let's see here. That's what I thought. Extensions, apps. Yeah. Extensions and app scripts. Am I not on the right account to be able to do this? Okay, let's see here. Might be on this one. Let's see if this one... Nope, it won't. So I was on the right one before. Okay. Extensions. I have no idea why that's not letting me. Anyway, there's an extension where you can get on there. Let me try and bring it up here. Oh, maybe in test. See, that brings up URL from here. Okay, so the prerequisites that you need on the Google Sheet, you'll need to go to the extensions and then app scripts, and then you need to plug this in. That will allow you to modify different cells in the sheet based on, well, whatever values you plug in, as long as you have access to that sheet code, basically. And we will get and Google Docs, spreadsheet. Okay, let's go over here now. Let's see if we got add-ons, manage my add-ons. Let's see which ones I got here. That should be working. I still don't understand why that's not working. Anyway, once you have that script in there, then you can go into, let me see if we have this script here. Okay. Share with. Anyone with the link can be a viewer. We are going to copy that link. Let's go back here to this one, and this is the Google Sheet URL. Plug that in. Now, this code will be generated whenever you create that macro add-in, whichever that, we just did. We just added that in there. I showed you the text that you would need would be this right here. Bring that back over so we can see it. It'd be that right there. That text would go inside of the, well, functions or extensions, app scripts, whatever you'd like to call that. That would go inside of the Excel document for the form. Then, once you had that, you can actually go in with a different web browser and modify the codes that you see. So if we were to go with this right here, copy that over. Let's go up here to a new page. I'm going to paste that in. Let me get my formatting correct on here. And that would be... script, yes, yes. That's an export. All right, let's see here. We can go in there, paste that. Let me bring up my text document again. So I have the notes here where we have set 117 completed. So with this code and the one that we just input, if we plug that in like this, then it's going to change the 17th line of this 17th column. So that would be A would be 0. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. That would change M. Okay. N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top of that. Okay, so let's change. That would be 22. 21? Yeah, 21. Okay. And if we hit enter with this, it should send it through. Does not match the columns. The data has 22, but the range has 20. Line 7. Okay. So let's change that back to 17. And what we should see is, yes, that will give us a timestamp, which would modify this to be completed. Okay, and to double check to make sure that's working, all we have to do to change this again, paste this in, and we can change the row to 2, and hit enter. And that should reset this one to also be completed. Okay, skip a row, go down to 5. We'll modify this. So we were at 2, we skipped 1, we'll go to 4. And if I hit enter, it should completed right there. All right, so we have all that tested out. That is the code that we're going to be using to modify the Google Sheets. And how we know whenever we update it, if we need to update it, we'll just download the file and we will see if it is newer than the one we have. And if it is, then we'll just download it. And then we will read the CSV document that's being produced, and it'll say we have a problem with the Chromebook. It will not charge, and it is from room Bob, or the teacher's name's Bob. So this right here is all of the difficult bits of how to get this to work. From this point on, it's pretty much just us making a user interface, which is fairly simple to do. So let's go ahead, go back over here. So that was this right here, we have a download location, which we can bring up on the other screen. Let me bring that up for us here. Okay, we have that here. Nothing in there anymore. Let's just go ahead, bring that over there for now. Okay, let's start making the program so it will download the file, and then we can have a CSV document of it. To do that, we are going to want to have this in a loop. So let's go ahead and start a timer. Let's see, timer. Let's pick this one, and we're going to have more than one eventually. Let's just do this first one. It's going to be in intervals of, I don't know, let's say 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds it's going to check for an update. It probably won't need to be that. We could probably do that more like every 10 minutes, to be perfectly honest. But let's go ahead, and it's going to be enabled as soon as we start it. And timer tick, let's go ahead and open that up. And with timer tick, what we want this to do, we want this to download a file. We want to see if it is if it's the same size as the document that we've previously downloaded, because we're going to be downloading the Google form or the CSV document of the form. And we're going to see if it is the same size. And if it's the same size, then we're not going to worry about saving it over, because we know it's going to be the same thing. But if it's a different size, then we're going to check to see the different dates and to see which one is newest. If it's newer than the one we had before, then we're just going to update it. So let's go and grab those codes that I have made up. We want it to save there. This will download the Google Sheet as a CSV with the save location and the file name. And we're going to be grabbing the Google Sheet download, which is going to be right here. But we first need to generate that, because as it stands with Google Sheet, if you just go to this link here, it's just going to bring up the Google Sheet itself. It's not going to actually let you download it. So instead, what we need to do, we need to get the download. So let's look in here for... this code will convert the Google Sheet to a download link. So let's go ahead, copy this, and we're going to put it in here. So it's going to convert the Google Sheet to a download link first. Then it's going to allow us to download it. It's going to save it to the file location and file path. Then we are going to use client web browser and download the file. Yes. And process start the file location. Now this is just downloading the file. We actually want to go a step further than this and check to see if we need to download it. And if we do need to download it, then we're going to download it. Because right now it's just going to continuously download the file, and we don't need it to do that. Instead, what we want to do let's go ahead and check up here. We are going to instead create a temporary file We're going to use the client to download the temporary file. We're then going to create the file that is not the temporary file, instead the file that we're going to be looking at. We're going to check to see if it exists. And if it does, we're going to delete that, and we're going to move the temporary file to the real file. Check. We are also going to need to have the convert letter to number, which will allow us to convert the column number or the column letter to a number. That'd be easiest for us to send whenever we need to send a completion. It would also be helpful if we were to check for internet connection. So it's going to check to see if we have internet. And if it doesn't find internet, then we can use that as a variable to stop whatever process we would need the internet for. And this will also help us get the download size. So the size of the document before we actually download it. Okay. Let's see. So right now we have this folder, which doesn't have anything in it. If we go back to our form, I'm going to go ahead and add in a button so we can test this out. And what this button is going to do, whenever we click this button, I'm going to go ahead, open this up. We are going to run, just comment this out. We don't really need that right now. We're going to run download the URL document. Also need to have this run as soon as the program opens. So form load, we can change the name. We need to convert the download sheet to a download link, and then we can also run this when we push the button. So let's go ahead, push the button. So timer button 1, we're going to push that, and we're going to have the URL be, let's see what that URL is. Google Sheet download. It's going to be that one. Save location, which is going to be the save location, which is going to be here. And then we're going to have the name. So what is, I think we called it Google Sheet name. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, we're going to put a break in here so we can actually see this run and operate. Let's go ahead, bring this up over here, play that. Let's get this to where we can actually see it operate. Okay, so here's our form. this is going to be our area where the document is going to be saved whenever it is ran. So let's go ahead and hit the button. We're going to run this. It'll step us through that. And of course I hit a wrong button. Okay. And F11. So we're going to look to see the temporary file of that with the temp file, and download the temp file. So we should have a file here that is temp CSV, and it should be this exact document that we have in the background. We can go ahead and open that up and see. And as you can see, we now have this, and it should have complete with that one skipped in the middle. Okay, that's exactly what we wanted. So now it has it there. It has downloaded it. It's going to check to see if the save location and the file name is created. If it exists, then it's going to delete it. And then it's going to move the temporary file to the final file. So if it's not there, it's going to get it there. Okay, there we have it. So this is always going to be updating that. However, like I said, we don't really want it to do that all the time. This is fine for now, but what that's going to do is it's going to re-download it every single time, and we don't really want that. We only want it to download it when it's new. So that is where we don't really need that. Download document URL. We need to check to see if the size is the same. So we can actually get the size of the document before we ever download it. So let's just go up here. We're going to download the URL. We're going to have that temporary file set up, and then we're going to get the size of the URL. Let's see, what is this? That is a long. Okay, so we're going to dim size of download as long, and that equals that. So now we need to check to see what the file size is of the other document, the document that we currently have saved. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the file size here. Get download size. Let's get the file size. We don't need to get this. Error thrown. Don't need that. We're just going to return 0 if that's the case. Return 0. Okay, so get file size. Size as long equals get file size. Okay, get file size, size location, and file name. Do and there, and file name. I guess I can just copy this, that'd be fine. Okay, so now if size of download is greater than file size, then, and now we can put all of this inside of there. And if we run the program, we should see that instead of it just automatically downloading and downloading the same thing over and over again, it will instead look to see if the file sizes are different. And if they are, and if the newer one is larger than the old one, it should download it. So let's just go ahead, click that. So the temp file path, we got that. We're going to get the size of this, which is 1636. All right, what's the file size of that? 1636. Okay, so it's the same file, same size. And since it's going to be the same file and the same size, it's going to end and nothing's going to happen. That is the subroutine that we are now going to be putting into our time ticker, which is right here. So that means every 30 seconds, it's going to run this, which will download the file for us into our new save location. Pretty simple. Okay, check for internet. We might want to run that first inside of our time checker. So let's go ahead. We'll bump this down here to time. That means if this equals true, then do that. Otherwise, it's going to be coming up with a bunch of errors every time, and we don't really want that to happen. We also do not want to have an error message get thrown whenever we cannot download that. That would not be good, because every 30 seconds to have that come up would be annoying. Okay, check for internet, get download size, we got that. Get file size, we got that. Letter to number, which is something we're going to be using later. Whenever we get the information completed, we can send that in. And file name. Okay. It's actually not that bad. Let me see how many people I have on there, because I did have quite a few people that were anonymously on there. Yeah, I currently have 2 anonymous people on there. So the anonymous people can actually view the document here. They can't actually do anything with it. That's a fake number. I'm so glad I uploaded a fake number in and not my own number. Let's just do 555. 555. 5555. There we go. Now that's a good fake number. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. All right, so that is going to be it for today. Thank you all. I hope that this was fun and entertaining to watch. I don't know if it actually was or not. I mean, I think it'd be entertaining, but that's just me, and I'm pretty lame when it comes to some things. Anyway, thank you all. I hope that you had fun, and we'll come back next time, possibly working more on this. Have a good day.